All right, well, everyone, welcome to the shared server, a step ahead challenge. You can see on screen here, we've got the active game, and these are all the teams in place aiming to get ahead of the zombie horde. All right, so this hand emblem represents the zombie horde. We've already got a couple of teams that are already out ahead, but majority of the other teams need to get their steps registered in order to get ahead of the zombie horde. Now, if you want to know how to win, the way to win is to get as many of your team members registering steps as soon as possible, and also the first team to reach the safe house each week will get a point bonus. Okay? So it's helpful to know that a team moves at an average of everyone on the team's pace. So, for instance, I'm going to go into the scorecard, and I'll show you our current team standing. So we've got me, I've got 2,300 steps. We've got Brian with 74. What we're going to do is we're going to average all of these steps, and then that's going to generate our pace of 1,875 steps at this moment. Okay? All right. And then we're racing across the screen each week to try to get to what's known as the safe house, which is at the far right side of the screen. All right? The first team to reach the safe house will receive a significant point bonus. All right? Okay, so first thing to know how to do, enter the steps. The main thing you want to do is click on the navigation button at the top of the screen. That's known as the sorry icon. I'm going to click on that. It's going to ask me, how can I help you? I want to enter my steps. So I've actually got a device connected. You can see I've got a Fitbit. Let's say, for instance, I forgot to wear my Fitbit, or maybe I don't even have a device. I can manually enter my steps. So if I have an unsupported device, for example, I could hit 5,000 just for demonstration purposes. Hit save, and that'll load those steps if I want to track manually. As an alternative, let's say I go out for a run. I completely forget to put on my device. That's okay. If I know the time I was gone, let's say I went for an hour, and the intensity was run, the system will generate an estimated number of steps for that time. So the system's generated 9,360 steps. Now, it's helpful to know that there is a daily cutoff for steps. You want to enter your steps on the day in which they occur prior to midnight Eastern Standard Time. If you enter your days in the past, so let's say, for example, today's Wednesday, and I try to enter steps for Monday, they will have no bearing on your team's progress on screen. In order to display a current status for all the teams in terms of where they are relative to the finish line, we have to have those steps by midnight of the current day. All right? Okay, so we've covered steps. You can either hook a device up, Fitbit, Withings, Jawbone, or Misfit. Those are devices that can be synced with our system. If you have something other than that, you can manually input that data on a daily basis. Or, for example, if you forget your device altogether, you can enter a time, walk, or run intensity, and that'll generate an estimated number of steps. Now, you can see here I've got 3 hearts for my character. My avatar's got 3 hearts. If I sustain contact with the zombies, what's going to happen is that health is going to gradually deplete. And if that health gets down to 0, I'm then sick, and then the next day I become a zombie. I'm part of the zombie horde. I have left my human team at that point. Now, the only way to stay healthy and to increase your hearts is to track healthy diet and lifestyle choices. So what I would do is I would go to the tracker on the navigation button here. I'm going to go back to the home screen. I'm going to go to track my activities. I'm going to track for the current day. Similar to steps, you want to make sure you record this on the day in which they occur. And I'm going to go down to diet. And recall that I only have 3 hearts right now. So I'm going to go, let's see, I had some fruit for breakfast. I'm going to hit that check mark, load it into the queue, but it's not confirmed yet. I had some healthy fat. I had some lean protein as well. And I had a few glasses of water so far today. I'm going to go ahead and hit 4 glasses of water. All right. Now, I want to confirm all of these selections, so I'm going to hit the green confirm button. That's going to load all of those items into the queue. Or I'm sorry, it's going to confirm all those items. And you'll notice my stars filled up here. All right, I'm going to go back out, close this screen, hit the refresh button, just to make sure I load the most up-to-date information. Now, as the zombie screen's loading here, you'll notice that I'm going to jump from 3 hearts, and let's see what I've got, to 5 hearts. I've jumped up. So I was at 3, I moved to 5. I want you guys to get in the habit of tracking those regardless of whether or not you're in zombie contact, but it's most important when you're behind the zombies because they are taking away your hearts on a daily basis, and they're going to take them away at a value equivalent to the number of hands showing. So let's say it goes to tomorrow, I'm going to lose a minimum of a half a heart, all right? And that's going to increase as the days and weeks progress through the challenge. Okay, we've covered tracking. I want to cover class strength as well. You can see I've got a little bit of class strength showing. The zombie horde doesn't have any. The way you're going to increase class strength is to track exercise. I'm going to go back to track my activities. I'm going to click on the tracker. Now we'll want to go to exercise, and I've got 3 major buckets I can select: flexibility, cardio, and strength training. And I'm partial to strength training. I'm going to go ahead and record my powerlifting session this morning. So I'm going to do an hour, and you can toggle that time by clicking on the arrows left or right. Hit the check mark to load it into the queue. Hit the confirm button to actually load it into the system. Hit continue, close out. Once again, I want to refresh my screen so I have the most up-to-date information visible. It's going to load the zombie screen once again. And then I'm going to be able to see the change in my class strength. Now, what's the value of class strength? You can see it bumped up just a little bit. Well, with class strength, I can generate what's known as zombie kills. And if I'm in contact with the zombies or further behind them, I can actually push them back. I can have a negative impact on their progress. Okay? So, ways to generate points. We talked about steps as number 1. Number 2 is going to be zombie kills. Number 3 is going to be that one-time safe house bonus that's going to be attained by the first team to reach the safe house each week. Okay? All right. So let's go into the scorecard. I showed you guys this a little bit earlier. I want to make sure everybody's aware of the level of transparency within the system. So I can view everybody as of today. I can click through and view each team. So we can see who's doing what within the game for each team. And that can be viewed as of today, this chapter, which is the current week, and this episode, which is all the way up until now. Now, obviously, since it's the first day, all of these are going to match in terms of data points. But as we progress through the challenge, that information is going to change. Now, your team's current status, current place in the challenge is going to be listed in the upper right-hand corner. You can see Loft 9, the Running Dead, is in 7th place. Let's see who's currently in first. So we're going to click through. Brains over Brawn, currently in first place. They are 21,988 steps from the safe house. They've got one team member already above 10,000, so that's exceptional. All right. Yeah. So we've gone over the major pieces. The other thing I want everyone to be aware of, particularly if you're at a kind of a desk-based job, you know you've got some early morning meetings that you're not going to be able to go to the gym before work. Let's say you've got some family obligations in the evening. You know you're not going to be able to go to the gym after work either. Well, how do you get your exercise in? How can you benefit your team during the workday? Well, we've got something in place just for that. We've got the Utilifit games. So I can go to Start a Game. And the game of the day is Back to the Dark Ages. So I'm going to go ahead and select that game. I'm going to hit Start Game. I'm going to start it now. And what it's going to do is it's going to deliver a brief physical activity for me to perform. And you can see on screen I've got to perform 8 chair squats. Nothing overly strenuous, something I can do in office attire with no issues. I need minimal equipment. All I need for this is basically a chair to sit in. Now, as soon as I complete those 8 repetitions, the only way for the system to know that I've completed that exercise is to hit the I did it button. So I'm going to hit the I did it button. It's going to record that physical activity for me. I'm going to generate some points. Go ahead and close. And it's going to wait until the next hour to deliver my second turn. So you can see I've got 59 minutes until my next challenge. Now, when you guys signed up originally, you selected a fitness program, and that can be at a cadence of once an hour for 8 hours or once every 2 hours for 8 hours. Whatever program you selected will dictate what type of game you receive. All right? So that's one way to generate exercise and benefit your team during the workday when you've got a very busy schedule and you know you're not going to be able to get exercise outside of work. Now, it's important to note that on the exercise tracker, you will not find running and you will not find walking. All right? What you will find is exercises that can't necessarily be captured from the pedometer. Things like swimming, yoga, weightlifting. All of those are meant to be captured by the exercise tracker. Okay, and you can see on screen, I mentioned zombie kills. That's what that represents. That's all due to my tracked exercise so far today. Okay, we mentioned health. I've boosted my health by tracking healthy diet and lifestyle choices. And then steps is obviously of most benefit within the game. If you do nothing else within the system, you want to make sure that you get your steps in on a daily basis. All right? Now, we do have something in place called the differential calculator. If you've synced a device and it happens to sync late, we can record steps or pull those steps into a current game no further back than 24 hours. So let's say it's Tuesday, you missed tracking Monday evening, you can pull those steps into the game. They will be reflected on screen after noon Eastern Standard Time. But anything further in the past, anything more than 24 hours in the past, will not be pulled into the game, will not benefit your team. The only way to get credit for that is to make sure that you input that data on a daily basis. All right? Okay, I've covered the major components. Again, the most important piece, get your steps in on a daily basis. Second most important thing, make sure that you're tracking your healthy diet and lifestyle choices. Make sure you're tracking your additional exercise. All of those things will benefit your team within the game. Okay? That's concluded all the major points I wanted to cover. I'd like to open up the floor to any questions. You guys feel free to type your questions within the chat, and we'll answer those as we go through. All right? Any questions, please post them in the chat, the Join Me chat. All right, I'm not seeing any questions come through. One quick recap. I do want to have a quick recap of the game. Daily steps. If you log in for no more than 30 seconds a day, make sure you get your steps in. Second most important piece, make sure you're tracking healthy diet and lifestyle choices. Those are going to benefit your character's health, and those are going to keep you healthy within the game. If by chance you turn into a zombie, you then have the opportunity to chase down your former teammates and to convert them into zombies, or if you track maximum health for 5 consecutive days, if you build your health back up to 5 full hearts, you will be turned back into a human. You can rejoin humanity, rejoin your team. Okay? So you can decide how you want to play the game. Do you want to play as a zombie or do you want to play as a human? That's completely up to you, and we'd like to accommodate all play styles. All right, if there are no further questions, I'll go ahead and conclude the call. I appreciate everybody's time. If you have anything that comes up, whether it's 5 minutes after this call, a week from now, 2 weeks from now, feel free to email support@fix-fit.com. we'll make sure we get your questions answered and get you revved up and ready to go within the game. All right? Thank you very much, everybody. Have a wonderful day.